to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set.
안녕하세요. 반갑습니다. 건강나무입니다. 애플의 전 임원이며 루시드 디지털 부분 수석 부사장인 마이클 벨은 애플에서의 제품 개발 경험과 소프트웨어 개발 철학에 대한 인터뷰를 발표를 했는데요. 이번에 마이클 벨 인터뷰를 통해서 루시드가 미래의 전기차 선두주자로서 소프트웨어를 어떻게 이용하고 사용할 것인지, 그리고 어떻게 하면 좀 더 나은 방향으로 나아갈 것인지에 대해 인터뷰를 했습니다. 이번 인터뷰를 통해서 루시드가 바라보고 있는 소프트웨어의 방향성과 가치에 대해서 다시 한번 생각해 볼 수 있는 계기가 되었으면 합니다.
I had the chance to work on some great products back at Apple. My team and I worked on everything from the original PowerPC Macintoshes to the Macintosh clones, which eventually became the iMac, Wi-Fi, a few people know about that these days, Apple TV, Boot Camp for people who've run Windows on their Macintosh, and of course, I had the fortunate experience of starting the iPhone. Steve was dead set against it at the time, and even he was wrong occasionally, I guess, and it worked out really well, I'd say to this day. I'm proud of all of those things. Certainly, I think other than the iPhone, Wi-Fi has had the biggest impact. I mean, can you imagine a world where everything wasn't connected? And Wi-Fi really enabled that. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but we're a lot like Apple. And there's a good reason, at least Apple back in the day. I've obviously left there a number of years ago, but that development philosophy is not only a system where we build software often and we do quality control and source code reviews and nightly builds and automation and testing. The testing part really is key to this because it's one thing to build the software. It's another thing to find the bugs. You'll always have bugs, but rapid turnaround, extensive testing, and then quick resolution of those issues is something that's really important as we try to move faster and faster and still develop a quality product that our customers expect. If you really want to be a technology company, which Lucid is, in addition to being a vehicle company, you have to develop the software in-house. Traditional automotive OEMs buy a piece from this company, a piece from that company, pay a third party to slap them together, and then a third party to slap those pieces together. At the end of the day, you end up with this least common denominator thing that doesn't work for anyone. If you really want to take advantage of all of the hardware, have the best user experience, and frankly, a future-proofed vehicle where you control the rate of updates and the quality of the updates, you have to do it all in-house. You can't just be a systems integrator that takes pieces from everyone and tries to throw them together. That's not real innovation and that's not real engineering. I'm very fortunate that many of my senior team members who worked with me at Apple have come on board. We've brought with us the Apple work ethos, the Apple software development process, the attention to customers, the desire to just make it the best thing in the world. So we've really taken the best of automotive and the best of Apple back in the day and merged those together into something I think is really special here at Lucid. Our entire approach here at Lucid is to consider the customer first when we design the car and after we ship the car. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So first of all, when we design the car, we sit down and figure out what do we want the experience to be. It's not, hey, we can throw this together and we think the customer will like it. We really try to understand the way the customer interacts with the vehicle, what that experience is like, how do we make it magical? And then we use that systems approach that I talked about, where we sit down as a hardware and software and user experience and design combined team. We all sit together in a room and really figure out how do we bring that magical experience to life. And what that means is we have to consider everything from start to finish about the hardware and the software and everything else that makes that experience possible. It's not one thing or the other. And because we do it all in-house, we can really optimize it to the nth degree. Sapphire, wow. I mean, what can I say? It is the ultimate integration of hardware and software. We sat down as an organization, we figured out how we made the best performing car in the world, what it takes from a hardware perspective, the motors, the battery pack, the aerodynamics. The look of the car contributes to its performance, the motors, obviously, the battery pack, and then the software brings that all to life. It is probably the best expression of a software-defined vehicle on the market today, and what's possible if you own your own hardware and software and don't just farm it out. The experience that Sapphire provides the driver would not have been possible if we just used off-the-shelf pieces from the usual suspects. Bringing the technology in-house, both the hardware and software, was absolutely critical in us providing the experience that the customer gets when they drive a Sapphire. And I think people who have driven the car say it the best. I can't say it any better. The reviews are car, gets obsolete by the time you drive it off the lot. We are continuing to improve the functionality and add new functionality as you own the car. So it's really a rare situation where it gets better and better as you own it, and you as the customer have the opportunity to really help us figure out how to improve the experience going forward. Working for an automotive company in Silicon Valley gives us the best of both worlds. We have talent and we have employees from some of the best automotive companies in the world, names that are familiar to everyone. We combine that with the software talent and the electrical engineering talent from here in Silicon Valley, and we marry those two sort of sides of the coin together into producing something that really is magical and transformative. We have the history, we understand how to build our cars, and we also have the forward-looking views on technology and how to produce a unique digital experience, and we get the best of both worlds. And this systems approach that I've already talked about gives us a way to do this quickly and in a high-quality method that customers really see the benefit of. We've had a couple of big wins in software since I've joined. The first thing we did after shipping the initial Air was take some feedback that things weren't as quick as customers wanted them to be, and we re-architected all of the plumbing underneath the user experience. User experience stayed the same, but it got infinitely faster. Just customers were happier because it was what they were used to, just faster and better. Sapphire, one of the most amazing vehicles I've ever driven, perhaps the best. We couldn't have done that if we didn't do the software in-house. The third-party software we were originally going to use for traction control simply wasn't good enough for our hardware. So we brought it in-house, and we managed to shave almost half a second off the 0 to 60 time by bringing that software in-house. This is the power of hardware-software integration and doing the software ourselves. We now produce something that's not only world-class, but better than what other people are shipping, because other people don't go to the effort of doing the software themselves. The future of software-defined vehicles at Lucid is really exciting. We have a stable platform. I think we have best-in-class software and hardware, and our hardware in the future is even better. What we're adding to that is world-class, state-of-the-art compute hardware, stuff that you'll see in laptops or see on desktops in the future, combined with big data and AR, VR. We're going to be fully buzzword compliant, but we're going to do it in a very tasteful, curated way that gives an amazing user experience. The car is going to be as much an extension of someone's personality as it is just transportation. We want people to feel like they could live in this if they wanted to. It's really an environment that's not something they begrudgingly get into to drive to work, but from the time they get into the car to the time they get out of the car, they just have an amazing experience brought to them by Lucid, and it's going to be the hardware combined with the digital and all of the other things we're bringing into play in the future that give that experience and bring it to life. We can figure out if something has gone wrong before it impacts the customer and tell them about it and maybe bring the car in for service before they're inconvenienced. And even better, we can figure out how to take that data and allow the customer to do more with the car as an opt-in. So they can allow third parties to use their data to give them an experience on their phone or on a website that we aren't providing, but they may enjoy. So we're going to allow an ecosystem into the vehicle that allows customers to have an even more broad experience with the car and the way they use it than we just as Lucid could provide. In the future, our ADAS systems will be even better and more intuitive to use. You'll see more integration between the vehicle and maybe other vehicles and even the power grid. There's all kinds of new things we're working on that will make owning a Lucid the way to go. It'll be better than just a vehicle experience, it'll be part of your lifestyle.
마이클 벨에 대한 말들을 요약을 해보자면, 루시드의 고객 중심 카 디자인 및 소프트웨어 개발을 통해서 애플의 작업 정신과 소프트웨어 개발 프로세스를 적용한다고 합니다. 그리고 고객 경험을 고려한 하드웨어, 소프트웨어 디자인을 통합을 할 것이고, 루시드의 고유한 하드웨어와 소프트웨어로 세계 최고의 차량을 경험 그리고 제공을 한다고 합니다. 차량 소프트웨어 업데이트로 더 나은 기능을 제공을 해서 고객의 피드백을 통해 차량의 동작 변경이 가능하게 하고, 시간이 지날수록 차량의 기능이 개선됨을 보여줄 수 있다고 하네요. 또한 전기차 회사로서 소프트웨어 개발을 통해 실리콘밸리의 소프트웨어와 하드웨어를 통합해서 자체 소프트웨어로 세계 최고 수준의 제품을 생산한다고 합니다. 루시드의 미래 전자 제어 차량에 대한 전망은 안정적인 플랫폼을 보유함으로써 최고 수준의 소프트웨어와 하드웨어를 통해 사용자 경험을 경험을 향상시키기 위해서 데이터 분석, 하드웨어 개선을 통해 더 나은 전기차를 경험할 수 있고 제품을 사용하고 이용할 수 있게끔 만들어 나갈 것이라고 이야기를 했습니다. 결과적으로는 하드웨어와 소프트웨어 이 둘 사이의 통합을 통해 앞으로 전기차 시대에 있어서 소프트웨어와 하드웨어는 뗄래야 뗄 수 없는 존재라는 것을 루시드는 충분히 알고 있고 함께 가야 하기 때문에 지금보다 훨씬 더 향상된 모습들을 보여줄 수 있을 것이라 생각됩니다. 시청해주셔서 감사드리고 구독, 좋아요, 알람 설정 부탁드리겠습니다. 감사합니다.